We are live, and tonight, y'all, we have a little bit of a special treat going on here. As many of you know, one of my best friends in the world is a guy named Frank Crinite. Although when I tell Siri to call him, she says, calling Frank Crinite. And I'm like, no, that's not it. Tonight I've got Frank Crinite coming on. He's going to join us. He is one of the number one, number two top car salespeople on planet Earth. I've got the one, the only Frank Crinite.
What up?
What's up, dude?
What's How you doing, bro? Oh man, it's another day at the beach, bro.
It's another day at the beach.
Another day at the beach, man.
Dude, we got all kinds of people. Look at this. Look, Joe Ingram.
Hey, Joe. What's up, buddy?
What? He's always got.
Why do I feel like Joe's gonna be breaking my stones out the whole time?
The whole time. That's how
I grew up, though, man. We just sit around, just make fun of each other, and it was lighthearted, though. You know what I mean? It wasn't like this bullying that goes on now. It was lighthearted. We all loved each other, but we just had to make fun of everybody.
Just had fun. That's it. Fun. We have a lot of Facebook users. So if you're showing up as Facebook user, go ahead and just put your name in after your comments. I know that's a pain, but it's a thing Facebook's got going on. There's Taiba. Hey, Taiba, how you doing?
Taiba, I love it. She checks in at the gym every day.
She's amazing.
There's a little like just tidbit of get yourself motivated, get there. I love it. It just gets me wanting to go too.
Yeah.
Yay.
Jay, what's happening? We got Linda and
my brothers right there, man. Love that
Jay's guy. Awesome, man. Jay's awesome. Linda Ann Barber. I was just thinking of you guys when I registered for a 10K. More painful than 75 hard? I don't think so.
I don't know about that. Yeah, I don't know
75 hard is not a joke.
I'm doing like 75 soft right now. I'm working out like at least once-ish a day, but I'm just right again, man. I feel great. JD in the house, what's up? That's my boy right there, man.
What's up, JD?
Another mother.
Melanie Jones, how you doing, Melanie? So dude, Jay, I'm doing fan-freaking-tastic. So dude, I titled this. You didn't even know what I was going to title it. So I titled it Mindset and How to Crush It.
I'm always ready.
How to crush it in life.
I don't know what we're talking about. I just want to go.
So mindset, dude. You and I, so you were on my show. What's it been? 3 years ago?
When we were friends a little while. Yeah, it's been a long time since we.
How long has it been? 2 or 3 years? No, it was 2019.
Yeah, it was.
No, it might have been 2018, dude, that you were on the show. No, it had to have been January of 2019 because I said, dude, you need to come to Miami in February to the Grant Cardone thing.
I'm out, bro. I'm in Miami right now. I'm like Will Smith, baby.
Anyway, so that was fun. So we talked about mindset then. I'd like to dig a little bit deeper.
Yeah, mindset's strong as could be right now, brother. Like
first, I want everybody on here to get the mindset of sharing this out. They need to share this. Tell them, dude.
Yeah, let's go. We want everybody to be able to take this in. The more people you can broadcast it to, the more people that listen. If it helps one person get to the next level, my next step in my life is getting everybody up the levels right now because it's pushing me too, right? So I can't just be greedy, take all this information, everything that I've learned in business, in life, and in my personal life, and just keep it for myself. That's not going to help anybody. It's greedy, right? So, Skylar, how you doing? My next goal is just bring everybody up with us. Top of the mountain. Let's go. Pinnacle.
Top of the mountain. That's right. That's right. So when it comes to mindset, I loved what you told me back then, and I'm sure you still do it. What you do every day, every morning before you leave the house. Tell everybody what that is.
I high five the mirror every morning. Boom! I love being me. And it sounds like, I might sound conceited. I'm not really conceited. I'm really not. I'm just very confident in myself and my abilities, right? If you don't love being you, nobody's going to love being with you, right? They might tolerate you. They might be like, oh man, he's okay. They might have like an apathetic view of you. But if you love being you, if you're the most positive person in the room, if you can flow that positivity to somebody, man, people feel that, right? Not just in sales, just in life in general, just to be, just when we're on the phone with each other, when we're talking, right? It can't be, oh man, this is happening, that's happening. Yeah, we all have problems in our life. Nobody wants to really hear about that, right? Unless they have to hear about it. So, I love being me. And if I don't love being me, nobody's going to love being with me. So, I'm going to affect somebody else's life if I'm miserable, right? Think about it. You go into a business, you go into a restaurant, right? You sit down and the waitress or the hostess or the bartender is miserable, right? Doesn't matter how good the food is, the drinks are, the atmosphere. It just puts a damper on everything. When you have somebody that's enjoying what they're doing, you can feel it. It's a vibe, right? It's a vibe. I talk about with Marianne, my assistant, all the time. Got to have that vibe. Where's that vibe at? Where's the vibe? What's the vibe today? The vibe is energy and positivity, right? So it's very important that whatever you do to get yourself going in the morning, that it's consistent, right? If it's just hitting the gym and feeling the blood flowing that gets you going and carries you through the afternoon to wherever you get to that next level, to me, it's making sure that I get my mindset right from the beginning. Get out of the shower, get shaved up, get ready to go, all dressed, feeling good, and you got to do it. Boom, high five that mirror. And I do it sometimes 2, 3, 4 times in a row because like I had the first time, it's like, oh, like I didn't believe that, right? That nobody
Right.
Nobody believe love being me. Oh, like, dude, like, no, you got to feel it, right? It'll change you. You get your mindset going, man. The kids getting them ready for school, getting them ready for breakfast. Like I'm high fiving them, Team Frank, Team Anthony. We're just going through. It's like they're announcers getting announced for like a Sixers game, right? Come on down, let's go. Get everybody fired up, man. Get a good mindset going right from the beginning.
Totally agree, man. So let me ask you this: when you go through a day, because you and I are really good friends and we talk all the time, and when you have those bad moments, those customers that are a pain in the neck, like me, I'm a customer of yours. When you have those
multi-time drove 8 hours to come see me. Love you, brother.
4 cars so far. Just since 2019, dude. That's
2 years, 2.5 years.
Nuts. 3. Yeah, 2.5. So, but when you have those moments though, where, I mean, dude, we all have them, right? Where you want to go, you know what? That guy is a pain in the ass and he really ticked me off. And you have those, everybody has those moments. How do you just say, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and blame the customer and no, what do you do?
So I have become the most accountable person I know, right? So we have a thing that we say in our Pinnacle Society. It's one of our trainings. It's one of our breakthroughs to get to that next level, right? The thing that I always say to myself, okay, when I'm angry, when I'm aggravated, when things aren't going the right way, when a problem comes at me that I feel like it's crushing my day, crushing my whatever it is, I have to say to myself, and I have to say, and I say it out loud, like Marianne stands next to me all day. You can ask her. I say, it's all my fault. I say it out loud. It's all my fault, right? Now, the problem that was created might not be my fault, but the fact that it's there in front of me and I am letting it get into my soul, get into my day, affect my mindset, it's all my fault, right?
Yep.
So if you own it, then you can push through it. Then you can get past it, right? Then you can start to problem solve. Then you can calm down the other person maybe on the other side of it. Listen, it's not all like Rocky would say, I guess, rainbows and unicorns in my life. There's a lot of bad stuff. Right. I mean, it just does. It just comes at me. I mean, I'm very public. I'm a very public person. I'm a very public figure with my life, my family. I have a lot of supporters. I have some haters. I have a lot of supporters though that support me. And they're the people that I'm here for, right?
Yep.
Not the people that like to whisper down the lane, not the people that like to try to get into your head, not the people that try to pretend like, right, they're your friend or they'll always have your back. I mean, those people they're good in some circumstances. They can help you out with some things. But the people that I truly care about, that I want to level up, that I want to serve, that I want to help, right, are the people that support me, the people that network with me, the people that, I feel like are my people, right? We
Yep.
all want to be with our people. So surround yourself with positive people. You don't have to surround yourself with everybody in the world, everybody on social media, everybody on Facebook. It's great to grow your brand and do all that, but make sure, right? This is one of the most important things that I do, because there's so much information out there right now. TikTok is a plethora of information. These videos, these things that'll just teach you things. I learned a new golf swing in 25 years. I haven't been able to hit the ball straight. I am in the last 2 rounds crushing the ball. I wasted the last 25 years of my life because I didn't have TikTok. It's amazing what I'm doing right now, but there's also a lot of information out there that's just not the right information, right? Or it's not positive, or it's these, psychological thoughts that you're supposed to take in, and these deep thoughts that you're supposed to think about, and like all these memes that are out there. And bro, they will get into your head and derail you from your goals, from what you're trying to do, from what you're trying to push through to that next level that you're trying to get to. So stay focused.
Speaking of TikTok, John Dawson, not the John Dawson you're business partners with. This is another John Dawson, a buddy of mine. This dude has almost 1 million followers on TikTok.
That's awesome.
He just crushes TikTok, man. He's freaking awesome, dude. So you what you're saying is, no matter what, you don't blame other people, places, or things. You take full responsibility for any given situation.
Listen, I wasn't always like that.
Right.
I wasn't always like that. I was selfish. I was egotistical. I was a person that thought that they could talk themselves out of a lot of situations, right? It's not, it's not good for yourself. It's not good for your mindset. It's not good for the people that you love and care about. It's not good for your business. So if it's not good for all those things, why do it? Why try to blame somebody else, right? And most people do this anymore, right? It's everybody's a victim.
Yeah.
Right. I don't ever want to be a victim, right? And how do I do that? It's not that I can conquer every problem. It's that I'm able to find the positivity in the situation.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily a problem if you can find some positivity in it. Some people call it just a learning experience. Well, that's great. I learned from it, but did I take any of it in? Right? Just because I touched the stove and it was hot doesn't mean that I learned from it. But what do I learn? I learned that, I don't want to just touch things and burn my hand, right?
Right.
Like, there's just things that you need to learn to be able to push past and not let everything just affect this mindset. I guard my mindset like it's my baby, like my 4-year-old Anthony, and there's a bunch of hungry pack of wolves outside trying to get in there and get them. Like, that's how much I protect my mindset from all the negativity that's out there, because there's so much of it, right? Victims, negativity, just all these things that are out there on social media. It's so easy to get wrapped up in just going like this all day, right?
Yep.
And that stuff affects your head, man. People say they don't watch the news, but they do. They might not turn on channel 6 at 10 o'clock, but this is the news that's affecting you.
Amen.
Amen. Remember that.
It is. It's what I like. People say I turned off the news 10 years ago, but they still are obsessed with all the garbage coming through that phone. So when I mean, what about when well, I guess it doesn't matter, but there never moments where you just get ticked off and go, man, I'd like to start this day over.
Sure. And then you know what I do? I start the day over in my head. I start it over. It's exactly what you do.
Yeah.
Right. There's times that my blood boils, right? There's times you can feel it. You can feel it behind your ears, right? You can feel it in your jaw sometimes, right? Sometimes it's just people that try to piss you off. Sometimes it's just something stupid that happens, right? Sometimes it's work. Sometimes it's family. Sometimes it's just pressure. You have to be able to push through it. How do you push through it? You got to reset yourself, right? You got to own it. And then, somebody wise once told me that, bro, it's never as good as you think it is. And trust me, it's never as bad as you think it is, right? So if you live in that mindset, then you'll be fine with everything, man. So there's times that things could crush me if I let them, right? I get pissed off. I get aggravated. But I've learned to control my attitude. I've learned to control my emotional intelligence. This was a major stepping stone for me, probably like 3 years ago, to be able to find my emotional intelligence. And you're one of the people that actually helped me get to that level, right? To be able to not to get aggravated, to not get upset, to not get pissed off with things that I can't control.
Right.
As men, right? Women don't do this as much as men do. I don't think they do anyway. But as men, we think we can fix everything. I mean, at least I do, right? I always used to think that I could just fix it. There's a problem, I can just fix it. Well, sometimes you can't fix it, right? Sometimes you have to wait it out. Sometimes you can't just force your will or the right way or what you think is the right way for something to happen, and that works, right? So,
I blame it on Vanilla Ice. You got a problem, yo, I'll solve it.
Yeah, man. But as men, that's what we think a lot of times, that we can solve it,
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's right. But so you've gotten to, I know it's always between you and Ali Rita, who I love. Ali, I know he's your boy too. You guys, bounce back and forth between 1 and 2 in the world, in the entire freaking world of car sales, which puts you in a, man, that puts you in a really elite category of car salespeople on this planet. And you and I've done a lot of business together, and we're really good friends. And I came over to Philly and spent 8 days over there with you. Do you remember that?
No.
I was like, holy crap, the number of people that Frank Crinite has standing in that dealership waiting to talk to him or waiting to sit down and work out the finances. I truly don't believe people show up there to just kick tires with you. They show up because they're there to buy. Like it's a done deal when they walk in.
That's not necessarily true, right? So most people don't just put their shoes on and say, hey, we have to go out and buy a car, right? You have to find the right situation. I mean, there's plenty of people that I mean, listen, you're an adult, you can make an adult decision. I tell people this all the time. There's people I talk out of buying a car because it's not the right situation for them, right? It's going to put them in a bad situation, either financially or whatever it is. So, as a sales professional, it's my job to be able to walk somebody through to make sure that they're making the right decision, not just coming in just to buy a car, just a fast process. Like that's not the way that we work there. And that's the reason that the community trusts me, empowers me to help out the rest of the community, networks with me with, businesses and businesses that I'm able to get involved in now, and charity work. And, if I need something and I have to make a phone call, like it's usually always, bro, absolutely no problem. Yep. This is how I can help you. Awesome. Right.
Yep.
Because I'm doing things the right way. That's the way I have to do it. So it's not a line of a factory. Ali does it the same way. It's not a factory of, hey, just come pick out the car. It's people know that you care because listen, there's plenty of times that people come in and, they think they have to spend a lot more money than they do, and they don't. Or there's sometimes when they come in and they think they're supposed to be spending less, and they shouldn't. They need to actually spend more to get what they really need for their family, for their situation, so that they don't just waste their money on something because it's cheaper, right? So you need to be able to walk somebody through so they can make an educated decision, right? So you don't have to just close them, right? You don't have to be this closer to sell me this foam thumb. I don't know why I have this here. But sell me this foam thumb that's sitting right here next to me, right?
Right.
Like, it's all good.
I think I have one of those thumbs somewhere.
Oh boy,
on my desk somewhere.
There we go. Yeah, let's not talk about that foam thumb.
So let's not talk about that. So what do you think for the average, and I know you don't, this just for the average person, if they were to, you and I talked yesterday, was it yesterday? It was last night. We talked for quite a while. And I, I said, one of the things that makes me crazy is people don't know how to form genuine connections. I have people reach out to me and ask to be on my show, for example. The answer is always no if they're asking to be on my show. You need to have somebody else promoting you, bro, if you want to be on my show. I they don't know how to form genuine connections with people. It's always walking around, what's in it for me? How can I get something for me? Instead of forming a real connection with people. And you said to me, dude, you're the plug. I told you need to teach that years ago. And you did. And I do to a degree. You've built this massive freaking network of people locally in your local market that puts you in the top. I mean, you're the number one in the world, number two, whatever the number is, right?
Because of my networking, not
But
because of my sales.
right, but how I know that, but how do you network with people on such a level that an entire freaking city? I mean, I drive from Ohio to Philadelphia to buy my cars from you. How did you build that network? What if you were to take that foam thumb and put your thumb on it? What would be the one thing that you've done to get to that level?
I flowed my power to other people, right? So instead of just being a taker, right? Hey, what can I take from this person? What can I take from Ken? I flow power, meaning I introduce people to other people, right? Somebody needs a plumber. I got my boy Evan. I introduce him. Somebody needs a contract. I call my buddy Terry Baker, or somebody that helps us out with our charity or whatever it is, right? So I flow power to other people that I know are going to do a good job for people that I care about, right? So it's not this like long like manuscript of hey, like this is a 19-step thing of what you have to do to network,
Right.
but you have to get yourself known first of all. And how do you do that? Well, I started off by, when I was younger, I was out at a lot of bars, right? So I'm talking to all the bartenders. I would tip a bartender on like a $30 bill, $100, right? How do I get myself known in a bar full of people? Well, that's it. The next time I come in, they knew what I drank. They knew where I worked. They knew who my friends were, so that I was able to stand out, right? And then just because of that, usually it starts a conversation. It buys you about 2 minutes, right? It buys you 2 minutes of a conversation with somebody to find out if you're interesting enough for them to be able to form a connection, to form a network, right? So I started off with bartenders, hairdressers, barbers, insurance people, pizza shop. A lot of my friends are in pizza shops or worked at pizza shops or talking to a lot of people. And I basically did the politician knocking on the door, right? But I didn't just say, hey, I'm Frank, I'm selling cars up at, Piazza Honda. I went in there truly to figure out what I could try to help for their business, right? Hey, we do lunches for Saturday. Is there any way we can order lunch from you guys for Saturday? And then through that relationship that would build, it became a network, right? That web of network of people that, hey, oh, you need a car? Go see Frank, right? Because I showed up, and I didn't just show up once, right? People go, oh, I tried that. Yeah, you tried that. You went into a business once, you made one contact, you dropped off business cards. You didn't actually do business at that business. You didn't flow your power to that business. Why would they want to give you reciprocal business? I mean, it might happen. It could, it might. I don't like might, could, should, right? I want things to actually work the way they're supposed to.
Yep.
Meaning that if I flow my power to you, if I bring my network, if I push your business and you respect me in this world, in this business community, you'd want to do the same for me, right? Who else would you rather support? You'd want to support people that are supporting you. I built a great business with my friends, the Serinos, George Reed, at America's Pie. He owned a pizza shop a long time ago, a little bit different. He came to me. I knew the family because I used to work for the family, but George came to me. He started buying a couple cars from me because he heard of me. And I'm like, man, this guy's sending me a lot of people. I have to, try to get him some business. So I asked him, so he goes, we're if you want to, do like a lunch here or something like that, we'll do it for free. I said, no, don't do it for free. Let me buy the pizzas for everybody. So, I bought 10 pizzas for the shop and told everybody where they were from. And it was great. And from that, we started ordering lunch from Saturday from this place. From that, from America's Pie, I've probably sold 200 to 300 cars in the past like 10 years, just from that one connection, right? Imagine that. The average salesperson right now sells 80 or 90 cars a year. I've sold 200 to 300 from what my friend Amanda Holmes would say is my dream client, my dream customer, my dream 100
from a pizza joint.
From a pizza joint, right?
Like that's
not anybody in the car business.
Because
these are people that are in the community, though, right? They talk to people every day.
Yep. People don't. That's the part. And Megan, you met Megan. You remember, right? You didn't attend BNI. You became BNI.
Right.
You went to a business. I've said this for years, dude. If you are in sales or you have a business and you want to grow your business, go out to other businesses, live stream with them, talk to them. How can I help you grow your business?
Ken, there's nobody in the world that has ever said it greater than my boy Jay-Z, right? I'm not a businessman. I'm a businessman, right?
Yep.
That's the way you have to think about it.
Yep.
You have to create your own business. People say, well, oh, I work for an insurance agent. No, bro, you can create your own business inside of that by flowing business to yourself. If you're a leech, if you're somebody that just wants to stay at that business and let them pay for all the leads, let them flow your business, you're never going to grow. If you can't stop being a leech from that business, meaning just take what they give you, right? Just be a sucker on top of that person that you work for, and you can't step out the box, then you're never going to network. You're never going to grow, right? So I always wanted my own business. I didn't want somebody to tell me where my business was coming from. I didn't want somebody saying, hey, Frank did a good job last month. He can have 27 internet leads this month. Dude, I'm out. I don't need internet leads. Right?
Right.
I don't need somebody that's just coming into the dealership that doesn't know me, that doesn't trust me, that doesn't know me from social media where I have all the social proof. Right? This is how you network. You make social proof everywhere by people that are your referrals talking about it. By them giving reviews, by you being consistently persistent and staying with it. People are like, dude, I can't post every day. I'm so busy. Facebook Live, I don't know what to say. Dude, did we know what to say when we came on here? I didn't even know what we were coming on for. I just said, bro, we haven't done a live in a while. How about 8:00? Yes. I don't care. Right? Yep. Let's do it. Just get on. Keep yourself out there. Stay relevant.
Yep.
Once you stop becoming relevant, you just stop.
And it's so for you and I to be on a live stream together, it's a reciprocal thing. Not that either one of us are going to get any business out of this live stream.
That's
not true. We're getting ourselves
out there. Business. I don't know about yourself. I'm going to get business. I already just got a text message that says, Frank, there's some lady selling me your car, right? Why? Because I'm showing up, Ken.
Yep.
Right? If I keep showing up in your newsfeed, if I keep showing up in your story, if I just keep showing up, eventually somebody's going to ask, right? What does this guy do? Why does everybody go to him? Why is everybody on his video going, who's next? Who's next? Who's next?
Yep.
The best compliment that I ever get, right? The one that always blows me away is when somebody tags me or texts me or calls me and says, hey, Frank, I have a client for you, right? Yeah. It's my mother or my cousin or one of my really good friends. Needs you to take care of him, man. Thank you.
Yep.
And guess what? I've never met that person.
Yep.
They've never bought a car from me, right? They only know me from social media. But that's more important than knowing me personally anymore because you get to see me more, right?
I'm telling you.
But there's still people that will say, no, I don't want to do live. I'm not doing TikToks, right? I'm not going to be on Instagram. That's for the young people. Well, I don't want to get old.
Dude, I totally agree, man.
I'm taking shots at Fountain of Youth every day again, man.
Yeah.
Fountain of Youth, baby.
Yep. That's right. And here I am all gruff. I haven't shaved today.
I got some grays, bro.
I'm not. I didn't say I'm gray. I said I'm gruff. I didn't shave today. And I don't have any grays, so I don't.
I do, but I don't die.
It's really weird. So dude, for somebody, and Bob Donnell asked a question. I love this question, actually.
Let's go.
What's the biggest differentiator for a good car salesperson and a great one? What's the difference between the two? What's the biggest differentiator?
Consistency and persistence, right? So you need to show up every day and you need to have a plan So the thing that I noticed, I sat back and for like 2 or 3 months just studied salespeople that were just average and
Yep.
what they did, what their daily routines did. I didn't say anything to anybody. I sit in the middle of the showroom, and the problem, right, with people becoming even an average, a good, to get to that next level is they don't have a plan, right? Nobody really hands you a playbook. It's like if the Eagles were going out and it was just like when you get in the huddle, it's like, hey, you run out like 15 steps, you go here. No, you have a playbook, right? Well, in sales, there's not really a playbook, and especially right now, right? If you were doing this like 10 to 12 steps to the sale that everybody's teaching, and go get control of your customer, and whatever else that they teach that I never even learned, then when COVID hit and
Right.
when the whole world changed,
Yep.
and when people's buying habits and living habits and the way that they process information and the way that they want to get information and the way they want to buy things changed, dude, you were screwed, right?
Yep.
Because that old way, that old process of get them in the store, get control, it didn't work, right? So where was the playbook? Well, the greatest thing that happened to my business was COVID, because all my processes over the last decade have been built for exactly this metamorphosis of the car business. The things that people say, when's things going to go back to normal? They're not, right? Because this is where the car business should have been years ago, meaning getting all the information up front, being able to be transparent with my client base so they can make an educated decision at the
Yep.
house or at work or on the phone before they ever come in, so that when they get there, the number one rebuttal for a good, an average, even a great car salesperson is, I have to go home and think about it. Well, what if I reverse engineered that process and gave you all the information so that you can make an educated decision at home before you came in?
Yep.
So now you don't have to think about it. You already thought about it at home. Now you're coming in to see me. And it just made the process explode, right? So people say, what differentiates you from another car salesperson, right? What makes you be able to get to that level? You're not the best looking, you're not the greatest salesperson, you don't have the best hair, right? You're not the greatest talker. So these are all things that I own, right? I'm not. I'm just not. I'm not a great like super salesperson. What differentiates me from every other salesperson in the country is process, right? Confidence in my process. I am so confident in my process. I am not scared to give anybody any bit of information they are asking for, from interest rate to price a car to, can you do the payments? Can you explain it for me? I need to buy a lease of this and that. It doesn't matter, because I am so confident in the process that I have and have laid out, the efficiency of it, the transparency of it, that nobody's ever going to want to do business anywhere else. And that doesn't mean that I always sell for the cheapest price. People, there's general managers go, oh, he sells for probably a lot less than everybody else. No, people will pay for efficiency. They
Yep.
will pay for transparency, right?
Yep.
There's people that pay to get in this lane in Maryland and down south that only they can drive in, right? That speed lane down in Atlanta. You got to be like, you can pay whatever it is, $5 a day. I don't care what it is. It's a lane that I don't have to sit in traffic. I'm not going to say, oh, I don't want to spend my $5. I'll go sit in X dealership's lane. No, go see Frank Crinite. His process is bulletproof,
Yep.
right? Nobody's ever wanted to do business anywhere else.
And you're confident because you have evidence.
So here's the evidence.
Well, and I hold on. I want to give an example. This isn't the Frank show.
Oh, shoot. I'm sorry.
I'm just kidding, dude. I'm messing
I
with
still
you.
have the most views almost ever on your
I think you do. Well, I know you do.
So
Organically,
not advertised,
yeah.
not paid. Yeah.
So, but here's the thing. I'm sitting at your car dealership and watching and observing and videoing stuff and for the stuff we were doing. And I forget the lady's name. I'm sure you remember her. This woman, I watched you take the phone call. Yep. The number's that. Yep. Bring your car in. Yep. We're going to give you that for it. Yep. Bring it in. Yep. I'll have it ready. You'll be in and out 15, 20 minutes. Yep. No problem. See you in a bit. Hour later, she shows up with her car cleaned out. and comes in. I'm in a hurry, Frank. I told you I'm in a hurry. You're like, I got your paperwork ready. Let's go. Sit over here. Boom, 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 boom. 20 minutes. She was out the door with her brand new car. Everything was already done. You took, and her car, her trade-in was out there. You didn't have to go, well, we'll have, I listen, the number one, let me ask the audience. Let me ask the audience. You're not allowed to answer this, dude. I want to know, what is your number one complaint about going to a car dealership to buy a car? Just drop it in the comments. I want to hear. I want to see. I want to see what the average person says. I know what my complaint is, dude. You know what my complaint is, and you have figured out a way. So
let me tell you a story. Okay, it's a quick one. It's a quick one, right?
Okay,
so
go ahead.
I've been selling this guy Steve cars for like 20 years. I mean, probably 22, 23 years. I think when I first started, he's been buying cars from me, and he always gets a Honda Accord. He leases it every 3 years, a white Honda Accord, the most loaded model, every bell and whistle. He's an A-type personality. He wants to be the first one in the dealership. He works Monday through Friday, wants to be the first one in the dealership, meaning 8:58 a.m. He's there, ready to go. Right. So I think I don't know, just call it 6 months ago. It's probably a little longer than that. 6 months ago, I have Steve's car already. He's due. He's coming in. It's a Saturday morning. My phone's ringing at 7:30 in the morning. I'm in the shower, so I can't get it. I get out of the shower. It's ringing again. I'm like, man, Steve, he's calling me twice. I answer the phone. I'm like, hey, Steve, what's up? He goes, Frank. I'm like, yo, man, how's everything? I said, dude, don't worry. I got everything ready for you. You're good to go, bro. You'll be in and out in 20 minutes. I want to spend a little more time with you. I say, because this new car has a lot of stuff in it, so maybe a half hour. He's like, I got to tell you something, man. I hope you're not going to get mad at me. I'm like, listen. And I'm like, he goes, I'm retiring in 3 months. I'm like, dude, congratulations. That's phenomenal. He goes, I don't want to hurt your feelings, but I've always wanted a Cadillac. And I've been talking to a Cadillac dealer, and I have a Cadillac that I'm going to go pick up today. And I didn't know how to tell you. He was really upset. And I'm like, Steve, dude, congratulations on your retirement, man. I said, dude, I'm so excited for you. Now, listen, he's bought every car for me. He's purchased every car for me. And he sent me so many people's family. I said, dude, we're friends at this point, bro. Like, I totally understand. Not a big deal at all. He's like, you're not mad at me? I said, dude, I would never be mad at you, man. I'm upset that you thought that I would be upset about it. I said, do me a favor. I said, bring the car by. I love a Cadillac too. He's like, it's white. It's got the cream interior. He's telling me about it. He's so excited. Like, this was his retirement, awesome. Right? So it's like 2:30 in the afternoon, busy Saturday. I mean, we're busy, right? Yeah. It's humming. 2:30, and it's ringing, and I'm answering. I answer the phone. I thought he was outside. I'm like, yo, you here? I'm going to come out and see it. He's like, do you still have my car there? I said, yeah, it's still out front. I didn't have time to stock it back in. He goes, can I please take me back? Can I come get it? I'm like, dude, what happened with the Cadillac? He goes, I don't know. I'm still sitting here. I've been here since 8:30 this morning. I haven't even started paperwork or really even seen the car yet. I don't know what's going on, but I don't want to spend another minute here. Can I please just come pick up my car? I'm like, dude, absolutely. I grabbed Damien. I'm like, yo, Steve's on his way in. Get all his paperwork ready. Dude, he was like, I will never cheat on you ever. Again, I am so sorry. This was God. He said this was God striking him down for cheating. I'm like, don't feel that way. I said, listen, you just got caught up. I said, they don't know who you are. I was trying to just help out that other dealership so they didn't look as bad. You know what I mean? But he's like, no. He's like, I'm so used to you and your process that I don't understand all this. Why I have to sit and wait and fill out and back and forth and renegotiate the price.
I get. This is a live customer testimonial. So we drove 8 hours to come over and buy 2 vehicles from you. And you said, I said, dude, I really we need to get on the road and get the hell out of here and get back home. And you said, no problem. You were slammed. It was a Saturday. You were slammed. When I say slammed, I'm talking like there were 10 or more customers in line waiting. And you said, look, dude, take the cars. There's tags on them. Don't worry. I'll send you the paperwork. We'll just handle it through the mail. Don't worry about it. I said, dude, for real? You're like, take the cars.
Nobody else in the country would
get out of here. You said that. Get out of here. Love you, bro. gave me a hug, hugged my wife. I think you hugged her a little longer than you did me, but we won't talk about
I
that.
love Jill way more than I love you. She's such a better person. That doesn't mean you're a bad person. She's just that much better of a person than
She
you are.
is better.
And me. It's all good.
But you know, and we were out of there. And I mean, we were there, I think, a total of 30 minutes just saying hi to you and you know, whatever, but which was hard to do. But the number one complaint, we had two people put in, Craig Duswalt said it, the back and forth with the manager in the other room during negotiations, and Bob Donnell said, by the way, Shaka Dyson, what is happening, my brother?
Woo!
That is my brother right there.
I love Shaka. That's my boy right there.
The back and forth leading to long length of time in the dealership. Dude, come on, man.
You have somebody over here that wants to buy something, right?
Yes.
Somebody over here that wants to sell something.
Tell them.
And make a connection. And we put all these speed bumps, right? Get this person involved. Go back and forth. Sell stuff that the customer doesn't want. Like it's all smoke and mirrors and BS. And great, you sold a car. Great, you made more money. Like I just don't get the whole having the customer. I'll pay more just to get out of there faster. Like legitimately, like I will. Like that's just me, because not even if I'm busy, I just don't want to be at a place that I listen. When I go to the doctor, if there's something wrong with me, when they were trying to cure my cancer, which they did, thank God, right? I didn't want to be there, right? I wanted to get out of there as fast as I can because I had other things that I wanted to go do. Yeah. So if I wanted to be out of there when they're trying to cure me from cancer, I don't think anybody just wants to sit at a car dealership to hang out with me, right? I mean, maybe outside of the car dealership they might, because I think I'm kind of fun, right? I'm a good time. But, you know, probably not at the car dealership. And I say that to people all the time, like, hey, like we might want to hang out some other time, but now's not the time. Let me get you all the information you need right here on paper so it's transparent, so I can walk you through it, so you don't have to sit here and just yes me to death and not really understand what I'm doing, right? I want you to stop me if that happens, right? Because sometimes I talk fast. I do. Yeah. But if people get it, I just want to get them through the stages. This is not rocket science, right? It's math, and it's a product, and it's a service, right? So it's always the people and it's always the process that separate somebody that's good from somebody that can get to that next pinnacle level, right? Not just great, that next level. It's your process and the people, meaning the dealership, your finance manager, if you have an assistant, if you have the people is your customer base too. Right? They're the people. So, you know, people always say, there's no way that guy could sell 150 cars a month. And you know what my answer is? I don't have to. The community, the people sell my process. See how this works? The people that see me on social media, right? The people that witness my process at the dealership. The people that heard from their friends that never bought from me about my process, refer those people into me, and they're expecting, like, listen, people say it to me all the time, like, oh man, such and such told me how great of an experience it was. Like, oh man, now here comes the pressure. Now I have to perform, right? Yeah, I have to perform so that evolution keeps going. And I have to share it with the world. Everybody says word of mouth is the best form of advertising. You're cutting yourself off really short, right? Because that's selling one-to-one. I need to sell from a stage so that I can affect a whole community, a whole nation when I'm trying to sell my training, right? Hey, I can't just do it for people around here or just word of mouth. I got to get it out there, right? I got to talk about it. Same thing you do. Word of mouth on social media is way greater than just word of mouth in the community.
Amen. Absolutely. Amen.
Baby.
Yeah, dude, this is.
I went blank.
Wow.
My beach is gone. We got fireworks.
It's like, what happened? Where'd the fireworks go? So for a new salesperson, first off, and I'm not in the car business at all.
Neither am I.
I know a lot of people in the car business. I know you're not, but I don't you know what I mean.
You are in the car business. You've purchased a car.
Okay.
So you are in the car business, right?
but I don't do it. I don't like the movement of vehicles does not pay me.
It does.
Oh my God.
It actually does. If the auto industry is the biggest industry
I
in
get
the
it.
world.
I totally don't. I agree with what you're saying, but I think you know what I mean.
I know. I'm
So,
trying to get you to agree with me.
so listen,
Going to use that
listen.
Jedi mind trick on you.
You are in an industry though that is known for managers. I told you this long ago, but I worked at a car dealership in Atlanta, Georgia, and for like one day,
So you
and
were
I
in the
got
car business. I told you.
one day. They
You
didn't
are-
like the way I demoed this Jeep Cherokee. The people came in and said, "We heard it'll roll." I said, "No, it's the new Cherokee. It won't roll. Let's go test it out." And they didn't like that because we were doing donuts in a parking lot. But anyway, so you're in an industry though where managers do what's called a TO, right? A takeover. The salesperson's not even allowed to close their own deals. The manager has to step in and close a deal, or like all of these things that are just crazy old school ways that they're just not. There's a lot of dealerships that still are operating under that.
I haven't had a TO in 20 years.
Right.
Why?
Sure.
Because I don't have to close
Right.
customers. They close themselves because we make an educated decision. They're not getting closed. This is why they come back. This is why they send everybody in. This is the long term business effect. This is the macro of sales, not the micro where you have to be the greatest closer, get out there, get the manager to go. You can't do the numbers. I'll go get them. And look, that's not the way that macro business works. That's not the way that long-term relationships are built. If you leave there and you got closed, you're not going to have a good feeling, right?
That's
And
right.
I forget who said it, but you're never going to remember most of the stuff that was said, right? You're never going to remember what actually happened, but
Right.
you are going to remember the way you felt, right? If you feel celebrated, if you feel like you had a win, if you feel excited, if there's positivity and there's momentum when you're driving out in your car, and you're going to remember that, right? That feeling sticks in you. It puts a little boop boop thing in your head to remember that, right?
Yep.
But if you feel like you got closed and like there was managers that came over, and listen, I'm not saying that a fresh face can't help. It does sometimes, right? Sometimes there's people that aren't experienced enough to explain a lease. I don't understand that. This is your profession. You should be able to explain just about every part of it. If you don't know, you should want to learn. There's a billion free YouTube videos. There's a billion things on wherever, TikTok. You should be able to want to learn. Your manufacturer probably provides some type of training. Not every dealership provides training, but there's so much information out there that if I didn't know something when I was younger and my manager came over to explain it to a customer, not necessarily close them, but be able to explain it to them, I listened. I processed it. I wrote it down so that I could very eloquently explain it so that they could understand it, right? If I can explain it, but they don't understand it, if I'm sitting here talking to them about algebra and they never even passed geometry, then it doesn't work. So the manager turnover is good to get somebody in there, a fresh face, to be able to maybe get a new salesperson past a sticking point. But just to bring in the lefty out of the pen to come close them was never the right way to do things for me.
Right.
And my management, to their credit, never really did things like that. And that's how I got a lot of my sales processes. They came over and just, they found out what the customer's wants and needs were. Sometimes when I didn't as a younger salesperson, and we're able to walk them through the process and show them on paper how it worked, right? Because some people say no because they just don't understand.
Why is it that at the I don't even want to say average, it's every car dealership it seems like I've ever been to, you go in at 8 o'clock in the morning or 10 o'clock or whatever, and it's a 6-hour process. Sometimes I've been there longer.
Listen,
Why? What is
I'm
that?
not going to tell you that I haven't had a customer there for a few
Right.
hours, but there's mitigating circumstances. It's a credit issue. It's insurance sometimes takes way longer than buying a car if you don't have insurance. There's things that sometimes we don't know exactly the car. We got to look at a few different models and take extended test
Yeah.
drives. So there's things and reasons why that people should be at a dealership. But if that's the average, then I'm sorry. Like, I don't care who I offend, what dealers, what owners, what GMs, what dealer principals, you're doing it the wrong way. And the proof is the amount of cars that I'm able to sell and the positivity of the reviews and the networking and the referrals that come from it
Yep.
are my proof,
Yep.
right? So, years ago, we've talked about this, but years ago, I went through about 700 surveys. I did every survey, not just mine. I went through the whole dealership surveys. And I went through, and not the good surveys. I didn't care about them because most people just give you a good survey because they liked you and they just want to
Yeah.
get through it. And they
Yeah.
don't really want to tell you what the problems are. The problems with most of these surveys is it hurts the dealership so much for a customer to tell the truth that customers don't really want to tell the truth. But there are those surveys that I went through, and the number one and number two problems that stuck out on every single one of them, every one of them, was time to complete the process and not being able to get all the information up front so that they can make a decision, an educated decision, meaning
Yeah.
they had to make a decision about a warranty in a finance office. They had to make a decision, from a manager coming over just to try to close them, right? So I figured, okay, I'm not the smartest guy in the world. But if I was starting my own dealership, I would make sure that the process was efficient, not speedy, but efficient, and people were given all the information, meaning transparency. So
Yeah.
how do I do this? I just reverse engineer the sales process, just like we talked about. Give them the information up front, let them make an educated decision at home, then get as much information as I can from them ahead of time. I'll ask people, I said, listen, do you want to come into the dealership? It'll take probably an extra hour, or I can get all the information up front from you, meaning copy of driver's licenses, insurance. I can call your insurance company for you if you want, give them all the information, have all the financing paperwork ready so that you're in and out in back then under an hour and a half. People are like, really? No way. It's not going to happen. I'm going to hold you to this. I'll be like, oh, dude, I got this, right? Every time. I didn't always deliver it at an hour and a half, but we refined and honed our process that now, I mean, legitimately, some people come in, go on my Facebook like a couple of days ago. I said to a girl that had a bad experience at the dealership. She got referred to me, and her husband's calling me. He can't be there. He's like, dude, I can't be there. I'm like, bro, I got you. Trust me. And I posted that she was in and out in 25 minutes, and she corrected me. She said it was 15 minutes. You had everything ready. Everything you said was 100% true. All the numbers, the paperwork, everything. And I had her side text her husband, why would you send me down here to this jerk? I can't believe it. He has nothing ready. The car's not here. It's not clean. He's like, what? And he goes, I'm just kidding. And he took a picture of it and sent it to her. She killed him. It was great. It was hilarious.
But that's the thing. And I don't think that, I think there's an arrogance in most car dealerships
People
that they think "Oh, you're here, you're not leaving," especially if you've been here for a couple of hours already.
So,
you ain't going nowhere else.
well, you know what the problem is right now, that a lot of dealerships think that way. A lot of salespeople think that way because they feel like they have the upper hand because there's no inventory, right? Well, if you treat your clients and your customers like that now, doesn't matter what they pay. If they pay MSRP, below, above, whatever, they're never coming back to you, right? If you don't explain something to somebody and you don't have stuff, that's basic stuff ready. If I have to pay over MSRP and sit here for 6 hours, dude, I'm not coming in, right? If I got to pay top, why would I ever come back to that place? You wouldn't.
You wouldn't.
Right?
You wouldn't. And it's the same. So there's a lot of people who are not in the car business that are watching. Although by your standard, we're all in the car business.
They bought a car, they drove in a car, they gas a car, they insure a car.
Right.
They're in the car business.
They do not earn their living by selling or delivering cars.
If they refer me a customer, they actually can. So not only will that customer get world-class red carpet experience, right? But they can. I have people, Ken.
I'm out.
Ken, I'm time out, Ken. I have people that have never bought a car from me, that refer me over 2 or 3 people a month. I pay their car payment, right? With those referrals that I send them $100 each.
Yeah.
They are in the car business. They're in the people business. They send me customers. So yes, they are. Everybody that's on this is somehow related to the car business.
Olga needs help.
I got you. 484-368-9000.
What is it? What is it?
484-368-9000. 9000.
That's your office number?
That's my only number. That is my cell phone number. I've given it out to 4,257,563, now 564 people. And listen, I tell people, I mean, I sleep between the hours of like 1:30 in the morning and like 5:30. So I might not get back to you then, but usually just about every other time, I'm going to get back to you, right? This is my business, man. Right?
It's true though. I know. I've been on the phone with you many times where you hung up on me to take another call many times. We have a little joke about that actually.
It's hilarious.
That's so funny, dude. I thought, why does he do that? Like, I know. Anyway, so for other business owners, for people who are in the restaurant business, they're in the whatever their business is, whether they're in sales or they own the company, or maybe they're starting out brand new at something. What's your best tip? What do you say? Hey, this is what you should focus on immediately, right now, right out of the gates.
So if I opened a restaurant, or if I was in an insurance business, or if I was selling anything, if I wanted to become part of the community, people say this to me all the time, right? So this was a challenge that somebody said. They said, dude, you're selling cars in Philadelphia. This is the thing. You're in a big city. So I'm not in a big city. I'm not. Like maybe 6% of all my sales come from Philadelphia. Philadelphia's that way, like a while. I'm not in Philadelphia. So I'm close to Philadelphia, but I'm not in Philadelphia. They said, well, what if we dropped you off in like, the middle of Wyoming? I said, dude, I would absolutely dominate a place that I could get my name known all over the place, right? A place like this where there's a lot of people, there's a lot of moving parts, where there's things all over the place. Sometimes it's hard to get through the noise, right?
Yeah.
So you put me in a room of 17 people, I guarantee that I can make a connection with probably, I don't know, say 12 of those people. If you put me in a room with 1,000 people, it's going to be hard for me because there's so much noise going on, right, to make a memorable connection with somebody. So I would start in all the local community groups, right? I would start to speak from a stage. I would become part of the community, meaning any of the local networking groups, any of the local community groups, meaning like a parenting group in the area, just your town. Every town has its own like community Facebook or Instagram page. And don't go in there and try to sell. Don't go in there and take. Go in there and give, right? So if you're new to the business, listen, start finding out what everybody else does, right? Start going to businesses, start putting reviews in these community groups, start going to local pizza shops, restaurants. Hey, I usually get my my insurance from Geico. Well, you know what? I'm new in the community. I'm new in this business. I need to network. I'm going to go check a local insurance agent out that has the same type of methodology I have with my customers, meaning red carpet service, wanting to make sure that they're being taken care of so that, I can get known and they'll share it with their network, right? So I would start to network within all the community groups to get started off right now. This is what I teach in a lot of my sales groups, that like people sometimes are a little bit shy to post online or, get yourself known or, just share your life. Well, that's fine. You don't have to. Get inside all these local groups. Become known in there by giving. Give tips, right? I'll go in and give tips for buying cars, just Tutorial Tuesday, right? Whatever it is, just get in there and show up, become part of the community. And that's how you'll grow your business right away.
I love that, dude. Mercury Mondays.
Sounds hot.
I'm kidding. Does that even, I don't even think that exists anymore, does it?
Those Manic Mondays? I don't know.
Yeah.
I love Mondays. I love Mondays.
People and that's the thing.
Change your mindset. Stop saying I have to. God, it's Monday. It's Monday. Woo! Marianne, I walk in, she's like looking at me, she's waiting for me to come in. Like I'm a ball of fire. I'm like, let's go. What do we got? Like, come on, it's Monday. I'm ready to go. Not
Let's
this Monday
go.
because I gave everybody off because I don't work that much, Ken. I don't have to anymore. Right? 4 days a week, baby. That's where we're pushing.
It's freaking awesome, dude. It's awesome.
I mean, that's a lie because this is always on, but
Right.
it's always on anyway. I don't want to do that, dude. You're scrolling on Facebook. You're watching.
Dude, you were off the day that you had plans that, or no, I drove over late. I came over on a Friday night, stayed in a hotel room, and came in on that Saturday, the next Saturday morning, and you still were making sure that things were ready for me on Friday. Like you were doing the deal. Like
I empower the people that work at the dealership to do their jobs.
I don't right. I just don't, I can't relate to, like, today's Labor Day. I worked all day. I can't relate to
I worked on my golf game, and then I worked on my relationship with my kids.
Yeah.
And I worked on a piece of chicken at my dad's house, and hung out with my mom and her new puppy. And that was my work for the day.
But the point is if I was coming over to buy a car from you tomorrow, you would have communicated with me. You would have made sure that everything was ready.
Think about how powerful it is, right? Think about this for a second, right? So I have my doctor's cell phone number. I could text him right now. He'll get back to me. I have my lawyer's cell phone number. Okay.
Yeah.
I have my accountant's cell phone number, meaning like we're like friends. You know what I mean? Like after all these years, we're friends, right? If I wasn't my own car salesperson, I'd have my own car salesperson number. My insurance agent, he'll answer my call at any time that I need to. He's also a fire marshal, so unless he's all dressed up in the midst of saving a kitten from a tree, right, or something,
or putting out a fire.
Call. But imagine how powerful this is and how so many people fall short of that personal connection because they don't want to be bothered for 2 minutes on your day off. Well, then listen, I don't want to be bothered all the time either. And there's some customers that, okay, they're a little bit over the top, right? And at that point,
like me,
but listen, for the most part, people just need to know, hey, listen, yeah, it's Friday. I can take care of that tomorrow. They get the hint. If it's not an emergency, but if it is an emergency or it's something that I need to know about, I don't want to wait 24 hours.
Right.
That problem will freaking explode. Sometimes on social media, sometimes it could be something that is just so simple as a phone call, an explanation, an I understand, no problem. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Can you meet me at the dealership tomorrow morning or whatever it is? Or I'll have a manager call you right now. I am personally not at the dealership. We're great. You have a referral for me. Can you put them in a group text to introduce me?
Yeah.
My day off because I'm a business man, right? I don't shut the business down just because I'm not in these four walls. This is how you can sell so many cars so efficiently. This is how you can affect so many lives so easily with your process. It's an easy process. It's not hard.
You and I were out. I remember we were going to dinner or something one night, and you said a woman called you. She was in service, and something went sideways in service for her. And you're like, and she called you and she was upset. I remember. And you were like, no problem. I'll have another car to you. Just hang tight. Let me get a hold of Justin or whoever it was. You got somebody there. Bam, bam, bam. And she had a car to drive instantly right then. Like 5 minutes later, she had a car because her car was hung up in service. I forget what the details were, but you handled it. And you did it right now, even though you weren't in the dealership. Maybe we were going to lunch or so. I don't remember what it was, but you handled it.
And this is for almost every sales and service industry right now. If you don't make yourself a necessary part of the process, eventually your business is going to either decline or even more tragically for you, not for the customer, for you, it's going to go away, right? Yep. So
going to
if
become
I don't, it's
unnecessary.
going to become obsolete
Yep.
for a salesperson to have to do. People say, "Oh, aren't you going to be able to order cars online?" Well, I'll tell you what, I have a lot of needy customers that they can't do all that online, and I'm okay with that.
Yep.
Right? I want them to be able to be needy and have somebody to call. I remember I was trying to figure out a price for a pool. I couldn't get anybody to give me a price. Like I didn't know if it was 27,000 or 127,000. Like the process to buy a pool was so secretive. They have to come into your house, they have to sit down, they got a closure. Like there's isn't like this pool package that I can buy. And then if I want to add other stuff, like I would have signed 2 years before I ended up getting my pool, right? If I could just got a price, but I
Right.
couldn't, right? So if I could have found something online, I just would have clicked buy now and got it there rather than going through all that BS just to get sold. And I got sold and it was okay because my family wanted it. I didn't care at
Right.
that point, but I just wanted to get the information. So I make myself a necessary part of the process
Yep.
by giving people what they can't get, just Googling it, right? By just jumping on Amazon and ordering it, by going
Yep.
to Carnava or Carnova, you know how to pronounce it, because they're irrelevant to me because I have such a bulletproof, world class, and always evolving process,
Yep.
right? To get to that next level. It isn't, hey, we're doing it the greatest in the world, and this is the only way we're going to do it. Everybody knows, like, if we're having fun and we're changing things up. Marianne, Justin, my new guy, Tyler, like, they all know, and they're all on board. They're all on board. It's great.
Bob says, what do you believe goes into the making of a great question for a prospect?
What do you believe goes into making a great question for a prospect? Well,
I'm not sure I
I
understand.
don't really know what you're trying to ask there either, but I could tell you what goes into explaining to a prospect. Most salespeople don't even tell customers what they do, right? I tell everybody, listen, my job here, right, is to make sure that I'm giving you all the information,
Yep.
being 100% transparent with you, right? So that you can make an educated decision. You know, some people come in, salespeople ask them, are you looking for something new or something used? Well, dude, I don't know. I just walked in 2 seconds ago. I was looking for a sales professional to be able to guide me through the process. I just did this with appliances, right? I'm putting in this entertainment
Yeah.
TV bar area in my house so I can watch the Eagles games when they're away. And I'm online and I can't figure anything out from these wine coolers, these refrigerators, these ice makers, which I just got the greatest ice maker ever. It makes this nugget ice, that you get from like Chick-fil-A. It's the most amazing ice in history. I make it with smart water, so it's smart ice now.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Listen, I couldn't get. I'm gonna die now. I'm gonna die on my smart ice. Couldn't get the information I was looking for on Amazon. I went in and I go in a little bit apprehensive because I don't want to get sold something. I don't know anybody, but I see this place that says, Wolf Sub-Zero. I'm like, man, maybe they know what's going on. So I'm like, maybe I get sold on like a Wolf or a Sub-Zero. Like, I don't really want to spend $4,000 on a fridge for under my bar that's going to get used like once a month.
Right.
I walk in. I'm like, hey, I'm here for a Wolf. I'm here for a Sub-Zero. Like the guy's like, oh, really? And he's just talking to me because he started asking me a couple of questions. What are you going to use it for? How much is it going to get used? Everybody wants these products. It's $5,800 for this Wolf one. I said, oh, great. Let me see it. I'm not really scared of the price point if it's a great product.
Right.
Because the only difference is the hinges and a handle and the stuff that's going to cool your wine is exactly the same in this XO product as in this one. I said, great. Can you show me that one? So, I walked in. If I just did it online, I probably would have spent $5,800 on this thing that I didn't actually need. Right. That's what I mean. Some
Right.
people come in and they have this thing that, they need to spend this much money. They don't. I spent like less than $2,000 on the one that I didn't even know existed. He gave me all the reviews, showed me, how many people loved it and, talked about it because I didn't know anything about the product. He goes,
Right.
dude, this is what I would put in my house, no matter how much money I had. This is the one I would use because I wouldn't want to waste my money. I would want to use that money for something else that you're going to put cool behind your bar, like this ice maker.
Right. Right. Megan says again, 10-man days are long gone. Quote the price range, help them buy, don't throw out speed bumps. So good. So true. One other, Christy Vanacore, who I'm writing a book with her. That's Dr.
Wow.
Christy Vanacore.
Doctor, how are you?
She's over in Connecticut. She's awesome.
East Coaster.
Yes. So she says, personal connection is everything. It's the only way I practice. Boundaries are a must, but I still make sure to personally connect with everyone. Everyone has my personal cell. Connection is everything, especially when trying to make an impact in people's lives. Without connection, I don't think anything survives. So freaking true.
It doesn't.
So
what relationship survives without a connection, right? So you meet somebody, you meet somebody, you have a good contact with them, you have a good vibe with them, right? At first, things are going good. You're friends, or a boyfriend or a girlfriend, or whatever it is, somebody you just meet, right? And then if there's no substance, if there's no connection for that relationship, it just falls off.
Yeah,
it's the same thing in business, right? You got to keep that connection. You got to keep that vibe. How do you do it? Being personable.
Yep.
And sharing it with the world.
Yep.
Showing up for everybody.
I think, and I mentioned this to you before, excuse me. If anybody said, name the car salespeople that you've bought cars from, man, I think you transferred that to me, dude.
Sorry, bro. Don't die.
I could name one.
Yeah. Well, here's the reason that I know that that's true. Because my office is in the middle of the showroom. It's dead center, purposely in the middle of the showroom. So I watch people, and they'll be there for 6 hours, sometimes 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, whatever it is, however their process goes. And the next day they come back with like a title or an extra key for the car. And they always walk up to me because they see me running around all the time, or I'm in the middle of the showroom, Marianne. And they're like, hey, I got this title. And we say, who was your salesperson? And they go, this tall,
right.
kind of a big belly. Right. So that salesperson that just had 6 hours to impact this person's life, to get known, right? To be able to have them share it with their network and their world. Listen, a 6 hour process doesn't necessarily have to be a bad process. It's just not mine. But if somebody comes in and they don't remember who they spent 6 hours with, it wasn't a good process, right? Because you weren't memorable.
Terrible process,
right?
Terrible.
I mean, terrible is Tribal Marketing.
Either fix it or get out.
I don't want anybody to fix it, because it just funnels more people that I can help. Right. So I hope that most of the industry stays. I'm just kidding. I don't want anybody to have a bad experience. Like it sucks, because it just gives the whole business, right, a bad connotation, which it has from years ago, right? Wearing the plaid suits and selling the old used junker cars and all that stuff. So it's bad for the industry if the process is bad.
I don't want to brag on you, but the average salesperson, you said it earlier, sells 80, 90 cars a year. And, here you are in the, I won't talk about what you make, but it's a lot. And it's earned, because you do. I'm a customer, dude. I don't even think I asked you about the price. Now I'm sitting here earlier thinking about, like, I don't even remember if we talked about price. I don't, it was just like, here, let's go.
Somebody had to pay for my refrigerator, Ken.
I know, right? I better get an ice cube in the mail.
Listen, you would never want anybody to walk away and not feel good about what they did. Some people need all the pricing, need all the details. Yeah. Some people just trust that we have a relationship, and hey, the numbers work. Yeah, dude, let's go, bro. Like, that's it. That's the way it should be. That's the way I do business, right? With somebody. I don't come in and then I didn't just go and shop. I looked up the reviews of these refrigerators, and I found them somewhere else cheaper. And I told the salesperson, I said, listen, they were closing and I had to go pick up my kid. I'm like, I have to come back. I can't make a decision right this second. He goes, okay, I can email you the quote over. And I could tell he was a little hesitant because they're a nice high-end store, right? So they
Yeah,
charge
right.
a little bit more. They have overhead. They got salespeople they have to pay, right? They have to keep the economy going. And I did. I went on Amazon. I found them cheaper. I still went back. Actually, I didn't go back. I called my credit card. I sent him an email later that night. So he had it. I said, listen, call me first thing in the morning. He called me at like 9, 10 in the morning, gave him my credit card information over the phone and bought it for him because he performed a service for me that nobody else could have filled, right? So,
That's right.
for me to go somewhere else isn't the right thing to do, right? I didn't ask him, hey, can you match this price? I
Right.
stopped doing that a long time ago, right? And it helps me be able to help my customers, walk them through the process, and me being able to earn a living, right? Not
Yeah.
have to give everything away for somebody to be able to come in and give me their business, right? Because they respect my time, they respect my energy, and they
Yeah.
respect the process. Trust
You
the process.
I've said this, I've told this story, I'll tell it again. You and I were doing business together. You had a company formed that we were doing this deal. And you said, "Hey, we decided I was going to come over." You're like, "We'll have the company pay for a hotel room. Here's the credit card number. You're like, I'm slammed. If you could call and find a hotel room." Okay, sure, I'll do that. So I'm calling around. I'm like, geez, oh man. I call you. I said, dude, the cheapest room I can find over there is like $360 a night. And you're like, so did you book it?
Why,
And I
why
go,
so low?
I said, well, no. I mean, do you have AAA? And you're like, do I have what?
AARP?
Do you go, you go, do you have AAA? And I go, no. And you go, why would I have AAA? No, I don't have AAA. Just book the room, man. Like I said, okay. And you're like, and it reminded me that the way that you buy is the way people will buy from you.
That's
right.
it. That's it.
And that was a mindset shift I needed to have way back then. And I have had it now. I get it. But it's something I think that a lot of people are programmed with. You got to look for the best deal. You got to ask for discounts. You got to,
I don't want to. I don't
go
want
beat up
to. I
the
don't want to
salesperson.
overpay. I don't want to
No,
overpay.
I get that. I get that.
Right, but I want to pay people that
Yes.
do a good job for me, right?
Yep.
So I tell all my buddies when they come over to do like plumbing or do tile or do whatever, I don't want a discount. Whatever your time is worth, that's what I want you to charge me, right? Because I don't want you to feel like just because of our relationship that I have to ask you for a discount. No, I want to pay you at least that. Plus, probably I'm going to tip you for doing such a great job, right? And people are like, oh man, that's my boy. You should hook me up. No, that's not the way that it should work, right? You should want to give your business to people that are your boys, right?
Yep.
You should want to give your business to people that reciprocate business, not because of a discount, because you trust them, right? Because you want them to do the work, because you want them to service your clients and customers in the right way. If they have to do it on the cheap, I guarantee they're not going to be able to give you the world-class customer service that you're used to getting. I remember back in the day when Mercedes started making $20-some thousand cars. They started making the C-Class back in the day, right? The average price of a Mercedes back then, I think, was probably somewhere in the $55,000, $60,000 range. And this is like 2 decades ago.
Yeah.
That car,
man, you're old. I
everybody that
can't
had
believe
it,
you remember that.
everybody that had it had so many problems, right?
Yep.
Why did they have so many problems? Because Mercedes, who turned into Daimler, Chrysler, Mercedes was not used to doing things that way, right? They weren't used to making parts that were supposed to be metal, plastic. They weren't used to shortcutting quality, where that car was all about the quantity back then, right? It's a nicer car now, a lot nicer car. But back then it was to get a segment of the market, meaning get your daughter to be able to purchase a Mercedes, an entry-level Mercedes, so that the rest of the family turns into a Mercedes. That was the marketing with that car. But it almost backfired on them because the quality of Mercedes that everybody was talking about that they knew went down the tubes because they weren't used to building a car that cheap. So if I ask one of my friends to come over and they're used to getting $1,000 a day, and I ask them, hey man, what do you think? Like a 30% discount? If they have to work for $700 a day, I'm not going to get or expect or should expect that same quality. Like, it's just not the way the real world actually works. I'm sorry to tell people, but there's a thing called economics, and it's not like the right way to do things.
And you know what? And Megan said not only that, they might not be around in 5 to 10 years when you need help. You know what? I when you cut corners, you borrow trouble. I love that. So think about remember when I called you, we were in Salt Lake City with Doug Wing.
Yeah.
And I called you and said, we're out at the Great Salt Lake and I have a quick question for you. And you said, sure, what's up, bud? I said, when I put this freaking car in reverse, the driver's side mirror angles itself down, drives me insane. How do you turn that off? And you said, just flip the little switch to neutral on the mirrors and it'll be fine. And I said, that's it. And you're like, yeah, that's it. Anything else? I said, no, I got to go. I got people lined up. I said, thanks, bro. Hung up and it worked. And I was like, that's been like months that we were dealing. And
in 16 seconds, I took your phone call.
Yes.
Answered your question, told you how valuable my time was because I was with a bunch of other clients. You respected that. I gave you the answer. And that was it, right?
I couldn't have,
you still remember that. You still remember the way you felt like that, right?
I remember it.
It was like Eureka.
And that's what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's what we're talking about then.
That's what we are talking about. Like and that's the, when you start banging people for discounts, you're going to get hit for discounts. Like and again, I don't like to overpay either. However, I will.
The discount game is such BS though, right?
It's a race to the bottom.
No, it's not even a race to the bottom, right? There's been a furniture store down the street that's been going out of business for the last 22 years.
Right.
I will never step foot in that business, right? Because it's a BS sales process right from the beginning. 70% off. You're going to discount your product 70% because you've been going out of business for 22 years. That just means you were priced wrong in the market from the very beginning.
Yeah.
Right. This is where we changed our dealership, our dealer group. We changed our whole approach with how we negotiate with cars. You shouldn't have the price you pay for anything. You shouldn't be reliant on your negotiating skills, right? It should all be market. What's the market value of that product? Well, some things have more of a market value because there's somebody behind it, right? Amazon, it's easy. There's nobody. Boom, you click it. It shows you your house. That's great, right? That's the value of that product. That's the marketable value of product. I didn't want to buy my product from Amazon, right? I didn't want them to ship these refrigerators that are probably going to get dented, dinged, damaged, something like it happens a lot with these big, I've done it before, big pieces of furniture, crates, people don't care. They're in a warehouse, whatever. I went to that store. The guy's like, pull around back, go to the second garage. My guys are out there. Do you know what they did? They didn't just load it in the car, right? I had $20 to give to the guys to help load them in the car. They didn't just load it in the car. The guy said, listen, it's going to be a little bit of a pain. I'm going to unbox these to make sure there's no damage so that when you get home, there's no surprises and you're not upset. I said, dude, absolutely. He unboxed them, pulled all the styrofoam out.
Yep.
Went over the whole back of the fridge, side of the fridge, found a ding in the side of the fridge. He says, listen, come over here. I'm going to show you this. There's a ding. I said, dude, you know what? Not that big of a deal, actually. You're not going to see that side of the fridge. It's going in. You're never going to see it. It's going to be under the counter. Because you're sure? I go get the manager right now. I said, I'm going to sign off on it, bro. I really appreciate you. As long as there's nothing on the front, I really appreciate you actually doing that for me because I've never had somebody do that. Unbox it. And then rebox it back up. And I was like, I'll help you. He's like, no, I got my guy here. All right, that's your job. I'm not going to get involved. Put it on the truck. So I gave both $20, thanked them. I'm sorry about the wait. I'm like, no, dude, that was the great. I don't mind waiting for a service like that. Right. They cared. Guess where I'm buying all my appliances? Guess where I told my contractor? I'm like, dude, you need to go get an account there. I just told him the whole process. He's like, dude, that's amazing. He goes, most stores, they just want you in and out.
Yeah.
Like, they just do. Like, there's another product. Boom, just here it is. Go around the back, throw it in, and you get home and you're aggravated.
Yep. It's unbelievable
process. And I enjoyed it.
Yep. It's unbelievable. Ernie says discounts get you a 1-800 number. He said a 1-800 number for service. It's true. But it's true. So look, let's wrap this up, man. So recap everything we've talked about tonight. What are your top 5 things that everybody could do starting tomorrow morning to take their business to the next level? Top 5 things. Doesn't matter what business they're in.
Wake up and be grateful. Okay, be grateful for everything you have. One of the things that really changed the way that I think is, there's always things that we want, right? And there's always things that we want to strive for, but you have to look around and be truly grateful for what you have, your health, your family, the great job that you have the opportunity to go serve your community, is one of the things that definitely takes my mindset to that next level. As soon as I wake up, listen, it's not always that I wake up and I'm in a great mood, but I need to get myself moving forward. I mean, I don't grab my cell phone. I get up, I just get moving, tell myself how grateful and write down my gratitudes for the day. Most of the time on my phone, so I have them. I don't really have a pen and paper next to me, but that helps me make my day started in the right way rather than waking up and being like, oh, it's Monday. Oh, I got to get to work. It's not going to be a great day if you have to do that every single day. People are going to feel that. You're never really going to love being you. You're going to high five that mirror and it's going to be fake, right? So you definitely can't do that. You have to be persistent and stay consistent. These are the two, number one and number two, actually number one and number one again. Like I want to number them 1 and 1 because one's just as important as the other in any business, to stay consistent at what you're doing and being persistent even when problems come up or you get busy or you just don't feel like doing it. You have to, meaning social media, Facebook Live, proactively prospecting your customer base, making sure you're showing up every day, right? Sometimes, some days you may not show up, but at least you have the effort to do it, right? On social media. Be transparent with your customers. Have an efficient process. If you can't have efficient process, talk to somebody above you that problems that you're having with your process, problem solve. Make it a win-win for your business, your customers, and yourself, and just keep sharing gratitude with the world, man. That's what I do every day. Ken didn't pay me any money to be on his show, right? I just said, dude, I'd love to be on your show. I'd love to do a live with you. I didn't say, Ken, I'll give you $500 if you put me on your show, right? I said, dude, let's go see if we can impact somebody's life today. Let's see if we can help level anybody up. Let's see if we can create some raving fans for yourself, for me, that'll help share our word with the world. Like, that's it. Just give, and it'll eventually flow to you. It should. That's the way the world works. Really, it does.
Frank, I love you, bro.
I love you more than you will ever understand, brother. Like, I know you don't. Like, I know you think that you might just be a friend of mine. You're not, man. You are an absolute brother, and I love you to death. And that one piece of advice that you gave me back in the day that just totally changed my whole life, my whole perspective, everything. Things may not always go the way that you want, but they always work out the way that they should. Take that with you tonight.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
You too, bro.
Thank you to everybody watching. And if you didn't share this out, please feel free to go ahead and share this out. And we will see you all later. Frank, thank you, man. Appreciate you being here.
Bro. All right. See you, pal.
See you guys.